What is up, everybody? You are very welcome along to Wednesday night's late night agenda, which isn't quite a late night agenda because it's a 6:45 p.m. evening, tea time, dinner time agenda, whatever you'd like to call it. Welcome to your LFC news show. I'm your host Craig, and as always, this show's been brought to you with thanks to our sponsors, Boyle Sports. You can probably see from the headline, a lot of you probably scratching your heads going, KONATE, Craig, 22 million? I know, but as always, there's a newspaper story to back this up, so we will talk through that. We'll talk about LeBron James and his extra investment, shall we say, in FSG. We'll talk about what that might mean moving forward. I would say we'll have a look ahead to the next Liverpool game, but it's far too far away to be doing that, so let's have a bit of fun. Talk about some summer transfers, perhaps. I've got some news for what Jurgen Klopp seems to be prioritising with regards to positions as well for the next transfer window. So how the hell are we all doing? I know, I was reading through, Kevin, and as soon as Connor pitched to me the KONATE title, I said to him, the first thing you're going to get, mate, is comments saying, isn't he injury prone? Now, it's a fair comment, and look, I suppose therein lies the point of maybe the lower price point. And look, I don't know his injury record off the top of my head, so I can't sit here in all good conscience and say to you, yes, he is injury prone, or no, he absolutely is not injury prone. What I can say to you is, I had learned and believed that there was a buyout clause of about 36 million in there for KONATE, but it seems that maybe Leipzig are willing to take a lower price. I know a lot of people are going to be coming in late and asking me what the hell it's about, and of course I will go back over it later on, but AS, I believe, have reported that Leipzig would be willing to listen to offers around 22 million, and that of course would potentially be of interest to Liverpool looking ahead to the summer with not knowing what's going to happen with Ozan Kabak. I'm still trying to figure out what the plan is for Ben Davies. We don't know if Matip will be sold on. And there's loads of other stuff to get through tonight as well. We want to talk about the situation with Virgil van Dijk and a warning that came from a Dutch surgeon about him possibly playing in the Euros. Loads of stuff to get through even though we're not in action. So strap yourselves in. It'll be a fun one. And look, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody around the world as well, whether you're somebody who's from Ireland who's moved abroad, or whether you're just somebody who likes an excuse to have a few drinks today. Why not? Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. I don't do anything on St. Patrick's Day, to be honest. I'm a bit of a dull person. I don't drink or anything like that, so to me it's just another day, really. Looks like LeBron James will be a partner with FSG for the club. Yeah, I will go through that. I'm just going to wait for the chat to fill up a little bit more, because it's going to be a few minutes long, and I don't want to have to repeat it over and over to annoy everybody that's in the chat. What have we got? 200 days, not 200 game days, sorry. KONATE's only 21, so there you go. I mean, he's very young, so there is that as well. Is he 21? I thought KONATE is Upamecano the older of the two? I can never remember which one of the Leipzig centre-backs is a year or two older than the other one. I know one of them, I think, is... I thought KONATE was about 22, 23, but there you go. If he's only 21, then... you know, an absolute bargain if he is to be got. But I'm not saying that he is our number one target. I'm just reporting on the story that was put out there. Again, you can go over to the Anfield Agenda Instagram account where Connor updates you with all the latest Liverpool news on there as well, whether it be around transfers, press conferences. It's all up there on the Anfield Agenda Insta. Frank, happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well, mate. You're over in Turkey, nice one. I hope to get back to Turkey soon, mate. We've had to cancel 2 holidays in a row to Turkey because of, obviously, COVID. It's one of our favourite places to go to. Hope you've had a great day, Craig, said Michael Smith. I'm not going to lie to you, Michael, as always, mate. My body clock's absolutely all over the shop, and to me, my day only started about 2.5 hours ago. So I'm only finished the morning coffee, shall we say, my man. KONATE is 21, and there you go. 21 years of age. To be as physically imposing as he is, to be as, I suppose, as experienced as he is already with Leipzig. And again, I'm not saying this is the go-to, this is the answer. I'm going to tell you guys later on that Jurgen Klopp has a priority of what position he wants to strengthen first. And, you know, a heads up, it isn't centre-back. Now, I'm not saying he won't want to bring in a centre-back because a lot will depend on what happens with Ozan Kabak, of course. And there again lies the genius of the deal that Michael Edwards did to get Kabak on loan with an option, not an obligation, to buy at the end of the season for 18 million plus add-on. So there you go, boom. Sven Botman, that story... I've heard 2 different sides to the whole Sven Botman thing. Who was it that asked that? Matt. Firstly, there was this from the Liverpool-based journal side. Some of them said no interest, just trying to stir up interest in him. But what we do know is that he signed a new contract with Ajax. Now, I don't know if there's a buyout clause in there, but That's all I can tell you on that one. If I'm thinking of the right guy, if I'm thinking of the right fella. So many centre-backs have been linked lately, mate, that Sven Botman, or was he Lille? There's so many centre-backs, man, that I'm struggling to keep up with them at this point. Will Liverpool sign Kabak in a permanent deal? I guess that's up to him, mate. And I mean that in a sincere way. Like, if he proves himself, if he we'll go again. Take two, everybody. If he can carry on the last couple of games, the form and the partnership he's building there with Phillips, imagine what he could do with Big Verge alongside him. So, he's got time to prove himself. He's got 9 Premier League games left. He's got the Champions League games left and training sessions and stuff to impress Jurgen Klopp and the recruitment team. And, it's a snip either way. If he proves himself, it'll turn out to be an absolute bargain of a signing. If he doesn't, then look, we've had a very decent bit of cover brought in for the last few months of the season, and we'll relook at it again. We know the KONATE car links, of course, that they were the ones that we've all spoken about. He was sitting on a runway waiting for Liverpool to agree a deal with Marseille. Marseille couldn't get cover in, so he wasn't able to come. It was Per Schurz was the one I was thinking of. Sorry, that was the one I was thinking of. Yes, he signed a new contract. Sven Botman's the one that I don't think we've held any genuine interest in. I was getting confused. He's the Lille guy, yeah? Sorry. Again, so many centre-backs being linked lately that it's tough to keep up to date. Per Schurz, he did sign a new contract with Ajax, and as I said to you before, Liverpool did have him over on trial when he was 17. He went back to Holland, then moved on from the club he was at, which I think was Fortuna Sittard, if my memory's right. Then he went to sign for Ajax, and he's since signed a new deal with them. Would I sign him based on how he's playing right now? The honest answer, Scotty, is I don't know, because I've seen good and bad in him. I've seen him be a bit rattled, and I've also seen him show some composure. I've seen him show some good positioning. I've also seen him be a little bit out of position. But it's important to remember, the dude's only 20 years of age. So either way, Ozan Kabak is a very, very young centre-back. So he's bound to make mistakes, no matter what level he's at. I mean, we've seen how well De Ligt has played when he was at Ajax, and since he's gone to Juventus, been a little bit up and down. So, it's very hard to make a judgment on anybody, let alone a young centre-back who's come into a new country from a team, let's not forget, that was losing week in and week out there at Schalke, to come into a team that's looking to go and challenge, not just this season, obviously not for the Premier League, but hopefully for the Champions League. Kabak is very average. We need to set our sights hard. We don't know yet, though, Elijah John. I get where you're coming from, but I just think it's too early and too unfair to judge. The reports that I've read, scouting reports on the guy, have suggested that he has a huge potential and could be coached into being an absolute bargain. But, as you said, we do need to be trying to get the very best we can. Now, whether that is Ozan Kabak, or that is KONATE, or whether that is Jules Koundé, whether that is Ben White, whether that is whoever, pick a centre-back. We'll have to wait and see. How do you become a member with Blue Riding? There is a link at the top of the chat, Michael Smith, pinned to the top of the chat right now to become a member. You can click on that link and it'll take you through the steps, or there's a link in the description of the stream. Now, to become a member with the Blue Riding. The Blue Riding, they're not members, mate. Sorry, my confusion. Excuse me, mate, I got confused. The Blue Riding are moderators, mate. They're not members. They're people that look after the chat. Basically, they kick out people that spam, they kick out people that troll, and they just make sure that the chat's friendly and happy for everyone that's in it. My bad, mate, I got confused there. But what I'm talking about, and if you do want to become a member, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. It is $4.99 a month. You know the spiel at this stage, folks. What's happened to Ben Davies? Why do people keep asking that? And I mean this in a sincere way. He's been injured twice already. So, it's not like Jurgen Klopp hasn't given him a chance. He hasn't been fit yet. Now we might get him to see a few minutes here or there. I don't know. I'm as intrigued by everyone to see what goes on with Ben Davies, but nothing's happened to him. He's just happened to have had 2 injuries or 2 slight knocks since he's come in. And also, as we know with Jurgen Klopp as well, sometimes he likes to get players up to speed. Now, Ben Davies has come up from Preston in the Championship. I think he played with Peterborough before that as well. He was very close to joining Celtic. I think Celtic thought that they were going to have a deal in place for him at the end of the season because he was going to be on a free. So I think Celtic thought they were going to get a pre-contract agreement with Ben Davies. And Liverpool swooped in at the last minute. Now, what his future holds, I honestly don't know. We don't need any more mods, mate. Honestly, we've loads of them. For those asking, we've absolutely loads of moderators. We've more than enough to cope with the channel. Probably got 1 or 2 too many, to be honest with you. The mic sounds weird. People say this to me every single day now. I think... Oh, this was getting trouble. And this is why I need Connor or somebody who actually knows this. Does the mic sound weird or a bit tinny? Because, I mean, you say the same fucking thing to me every single day now at this point. Hang on. It's the same mic that I've used every day. I don't know how or why it would sound tinny. Let me just check the connection on the back. 1 second. No, I can't. I can't even reach the connection on the back without getting up. So, I don't know. Well, I'm not changing it. Anyway, it is what it is for today. What else have we got? What have we got? Sounds fine. Grand. Cool. Anyway. Sorry, so let's talk about LeBron James, folks. Let's talk about LeBron James and what does this mean? No, Craig. What does this mean? Because we all know that Jerry Cardinal is about to become a 10% owner of all of FSG's holdings, including Fenway Rouge Racing, NESN, the Boston Red Sox, Liverpool Football Club. Now, what does the LeBron part mean to all of this? Because LeBron has taken an, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? An unreported stake, so nobody knows what the percentage stake he is taking in FSG is. Now, we know that LeBron James already holds a 2% ownership of Liverpool Football Club. That's common knowledge. That's been put out there as part of a previous deal that he had with FSG. But this now will see him take an increased stake in FSG's all-round holdings, including, obviously, the Red Sox, with whom I think there's... one, that needs clearance by the Major League Baseball, so they're waiting on that for that deal to go through. And secondly, you know, the Red Sox baseball team, obviously the Celtics, the Lakers, bit of rivalry there as well, so there's a bit of hoo-ha over that one. But what does it mean for Liverpool Football Club in the grand scheme of things? Well, what it looks like is that FSG have plans to, I won't say make world domination, but there's talk of them perhaps buying an NFL team. There's talk of them perhaps setting up some feeder clubs or some other clubs around the world. Jerry Cardinal, the guy who's coming on board as one of the guy who's buying the 10% stake, he owns, I think, an 85% stake in Toulouse, the League 2 side in France. And Liverpool are probably going to want to go around and buy up, I say Liverpool, FSG, buy up other franchises. So as I said, there's talk of an NFL team. There's talk of maybe owning an NBA team at some point. I know LeBron, when he finishes playing, has aspirations to own an NBA team, and maybe with his business partner and with Jerry Cardinal and maybe with FSG's backing, they can make that happen as well. So, you know, what this means for Liverpool singularly at this moment in time is very difficult to say. It will, of course, strengthen the brand power that we have, the reach of LeBron James, the partnership with Nike, maybe some crossover clothing, maybe attracting other players. We don't know. The big question I think we're all waiting to find out is what this $750 million equity that's been freed up, how that will be used. So some people believe it will be used to maybe strengthen the Red Sox and Liverpool a little bit. Other people believe it could be used towards the acquisition of other teams. As I said, now, you're not going to buy an NFL team for that type of money. I think you're into the billions there to be buying any NFL franchise, but that seems to be the aspiration of where they're going. They want to expand their holdings in sports. So there's a sports marketing company. I think Jerry Cardinal maybe owns an image rights company as well and stuff like that. So, you know, it's good news for us in the big picture, but us as fans, we just want to know right now what's going to happen with regards to the summer and with regards to incomings, and is Jurgen Klopp going to be back? So, big picture stuff, it's all looking good. The club's heading in the right way. Our owners are doing the right things. They're bringing on the correct strategic partnerships, and they're looking to increase our brand power across the world with, as I say, strategic partnerships. So the Nike LeBron deal, the stuff with Jerry Cardinal and what he can bring to the table with regard to digital marketing and so many other benefits that, you know, a mere mortal like me isn't really qualified to give you the info on. But will we see some activity in the summer? My belief is yes, we will. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to go out and break world record fees, but to loop back to what I said at the start of the stream earlier on, it seems to be that Jurgen Klopp is prioritising bringing in an attacking player this summer. And by saying that, it's also been made clear that doesn't mean at the detriment of one of the other players. So it's not going to be a fact that we have to sell Firmino, Mane, Salah or Jota, obviously, to go and get one. He wants to add to what's already at the club. So he wants to go out there. Let's assume Origi moves on. I mean, somebody said he's been linked with Dortmund. He's been linked with a few other clubs as well. So Jurgen Klopp apparently wants to add somebody there. Now, Me, you, and everybody else can sit here and guess if that's Mbappe, if that's Haaland, if that's Rafinha, if that's Pedro Neto, who it might be. I mean, that's open for discussion, and I'm sure that may become a little bit clearer as the weeks and months go by. But it is great news to hear that Klopp wants to add another attacking player and wants to hang on to the guys that are already at the club because, you know, they've delivered so much for us as fans, and sometimes tiredness, a bit of freshening up, extra competition can really help. So that's where we are on all of that stuff. The LeBron stuff only kind of broke late yesterday, so I was trying to gather as much information as I could today before I came and brought it to you. And as I said, it is an undisclosed amount, this extra stake that he will have in FSG, so nobody really knows. All we know for certain is that he has a 2% ownership of Liverpool Football Club that he took up, I think, in 2011, if my memory serves me correct. Any updates on Rui Patricio? Yeah, he's all good, man. He's back at home with his family, healthy. I don't know if he'll be playing due to concussion protocols, obviously, but yeah, no, he's good and healthy, which is absolutely fantastic news. What do you think about Liverpool players not liking the new training ground? Where did that come from? Did we just pull that one out of our backside, or how could you not like one of the best training facilities that is in the league, mate? I don't know what there is to not like about it. I'm sure they were absolutely amazed by it, so I've not seen anything to suggest that they don't like it, mate. Sorry. Am I glad the club have moved from Melwood to the AXA training facility? Yes, because it's Klopp's vision, Michael. The whole point of the AXA training facility was that Jurgen Klopp wanted one facility where he could have the younger players on one side of the facility and obviously the senior pros at the other side, so he could bring up some youth players to train with the first team if he wants to, go keep an eye on them, keep an eye on the coaches, you know, have everybody in one facility in one building, and it shows the younger players what they can aspire to as well, to try and reach to get up and train with the first team. So I believe some sections of it are off limits to the underage players, and some are only open to the senior players. So yeah, it's an aspirational thing. It was Jurgen Klopp's baby, and the owners backed him to the tune of 50 million for it. So yeah, I mean, I can't see what there is to dislike about it. I've seen the videos of it. It looks world class, magnificent facility. Everything you could ask for. Melwood was a bit cramped. Obviously, it's iconic, but you know, there was no space to expand it because of housing and stuff around the local area. And yeah, this for the club will push us on and move us into, you know, the next 50 years probably, hopefully. So I don't see any downsides of the new training facility. I really don't. And I think anyone that's putting it out there, I don't know where it came from, because I hadn't even seen any stories about it, to be honest. So I'd imagine it's somebody just trying to stir shit or get clicks related to Liverpool, because I haven't read anything from any of the sources or the articles that I would read. So I don't know where it came from, to be honest with you. Hi Craig, how old am I? 39. Yeah, 39, but I'm never going to be 40, as I keep saying. When my birthday comes around, I'm just going to update to 39.1. I've also given myself a new tagline, by the way. So I was sitting here thinking, right, new year, new season, we need to push the brand, we need to grow, we need to try and get full time, we need to do all that stuff that we don't like talking about publicly. So I've decided I've given myself a tagline. So here it is, you ready? Craig, the voice of football that nobody asked for. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going to. It's a bit self-loathing. It takes the piss out of myself a little bit, but I think it suits it. So Craig, the voice of football that nobody asked for. That's what I'm going to be saying from now on. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody else in the chat as well. 39.1, exactly, Eliza John. Then it'll be 39.2 and so on and so forth. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well, Keane. What have we got? Craig, the voice of football that nobody asked for. There you go. That's it. That's what I'm going for, man. Craig, the voice of football that nobody asked for. I think it works, because you know I like to take the piss out of myself a little bit. I don't take myself too seriously. So what do I think of Dembele? Are we talking about Ousmane Dembele of Barcelona here? In which case, I really like the guy. I know he had a serious injury, but there's a lot of potential in that dude. There really, really is. I've seen other stories linking Felipe Coutinho with perhaps a £50 million move back. No. Forever no. 100 times no. Bayern Munich didn't want them. Barcelona don't want them. And he made a fuss to get out of our club. We've gone past Felipe Coutinho right now. So for me, that would be a big no-no. I don't know what you guys would think. Again, if you're watching this back later on, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. But for me, that would be a massive no-no. We can't watch LFC until the 4th of April. It's frustrating. I know. It is. It's really frustrating. Oh, Sabrina, don't you start that shit. My wife's on the wind up. What apparently in America again, I've seen a few things. It's called St. Patty's Day, Patty''S, and it drives me demented. There's two acceptable ways: St. Patrick's Day or Paddy's Day. Paddy's Day, Paddys''S. They're the only acceptable ways to say it. So all this St. Patty's Day nonsense needs to be nipped in the bud straight away. It's St. Patrick's Day or Paddy's Day. They're the only two acceptable options. And I've seen so many promoted ads on Twitter from companies saying Happy St. Patty's Day, and it's driving me demented. International breaks are so annoying. They are, mate. But look, at least we've got, like, for instance, tonight when I finish this stream, I'll be going straight over to Mundo Sporto to cover the Chelsea Atletico game. So I hope you guys can come over there and join me for that one. Tomorrow I'll be doing United's game against AC Milan in the Europa League. Then we'll be covering some of the FA Cup games over the weekend. Jack Gill will be doing a few. I'll be doing a few. Jack Gill will be live on here on Friday, by the way, as well, to cover the Champions League draw. I'll make a reaction video whenever I roll out of bed later on that day. And we will keep the content going over the international break. Don't you worry. We're trying to think up different shows and more fun videos. We might do another assumptions video as well. That one seemed to go down. I'm trying to see if I can somehow manage to get Paul McGrath for an interview. I know he's got nothing to do with Liverpool, but he's somebody he's my favourite Irish footballer of all time. I don't know how I'm going to go about trying to get him, even though he lives in the same county as me, by the way. That's my goal now, is to get Paul McGrath for an interview at some point, because I idolise the man. He's my favourite Irish player of all time. USA 94 against Italy. He was like a one-man wall. So I'd love to get a chat with McGrath. Do a TikTok Q&A. Yeah, I could absolutely do that as well, Kevin. Good shout. Do I reply to every tweet and comment that I can? Yes, mate. I spend so much time. Like, I probably spend 14 hours, no, maybe 12 hours a day on this stuff, whether it be replying to tweets on Twitter. Sometimes I go in and try and reply to some stuff on Instagram. I don't go near the DMs on Instagram because some of them are just off the wall, but I do try and reply to some of the posts on Instagram as well. And yeah, I try and interact as much as I can. I go through the comments later on at night time when I have free time on YouTube, and I try and reply to as many of those and thank as many people as I can on there, because I'm well aware that without the support of everybody that's gotten behind us here from day one on the channel, there would be no channel. And as you can see from the left corner, we're now 16,300 away from hitting 100k. We've got till the 23rd of May to do it. I believe we can keep pushing and get it done. So I want you guys to step up as well now. Let the world know about Anfield Agenda. Start getting trained, follow trains, whatever. On Instagram, on Facebook, on wherever. Let the world know about us. Let's see if we can hit that 100k before the season ends. We may have a little bit of good news to report in the next few days. We're working on some potential deals for next season that, you know, still not enough, but a bit, put it that way, to help us out. Something else I can't talk about yet because the papers haven't been, I actually don't know if they've been signed or not. Connor has the papers for something else that will be beneficial to us. And yeah, lots of other stuff. We're going to be working our backsides off over the next year to just try and make this the one to go stop shop. Basically the one football of Liverpool fandom. That's what we're going to try and do. Turn Anfield Agenda into the place where everybody comes, everyone's welcome, everybody has a voice. Nobody has a voice as loud as mine, though, because, you know, it is a dictatorship to some extent. What have we got? Once again, to Craig and all the Irish in the chat, happy St. Patrick's Day. Lots of love, man. Thank you very much. Some say his name is KONATE. I say his name is Matip 2.0. Well played. Well played, Ivan. We need a midfielder that can score goals. Look at City, Dave, a few. Yeah, we do. I mean, it's a fair point, mate. But that midfielder could be Bobby Firmino. That midfielder could be Diogo Jota. That midfielder, you know what I mean? You get where I'm coming from. Like, so if Kloppo's planning on bringing in an attacker in the summer, which is his number one priority by the looks of it, without losing any of the guys we have, then maybe Bobby can be that midfielder that scores goals. Maybe Naby, if he can stay fit, can be that midfielder that scores goals. Maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain. I mean, we only seen a few minutes of him the other night, but my God, he looked bright when he came on for those few minutes. No news on Henderson that I've seen, Michael, mate. No. Yeah. Someone said, can you say my name? I'm saying it in my head just to see if there's any reason why I shouldn't say it. Well, let's go with Deck. So hello to Deck. Let's go with that, mate, just in case I'm missing something. Aideen, welcome. Aideen Neelan, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, newest member to the family. Thank you very much for becoming a member. You will, of course, get use of all the custom emojis. You will, of course, get into our Discord group. Aideen, check out the Anfield Agenda community tab on our YouTube channel. You'll find the Discord link in there. And thank you for becoming a member. And if you guys want to join Aideen and becoming a member, all you have to do is click the link at the top of the chat there now. That's pinned to the top of the chat or in the description of the stream. As I said to you earlier on, it is $4.99 a month, but we're working on some stuff that will give even more perks to our members. Trust me, we're working on stuff behind the scenes to try and add to that, to make it even better value for those people that are kind enough to give up $4.99 a month to help us out. So, yeah, we're going legit. I know this looks like one big mess, one big unplanned mess, but I promise you, we run this very well behind the scenes, and we're very strategic in what we do, even though I present in the most chaotic, hectic way possible. I mean, as an example, I don't know if any of you guys were on for the Real Madrid game last night, but somehow we ended up in a 20-minute conversation about a hotel Connor and I once stayed in, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had on the stream. And it just went, I missed 2 goals in the game talking about it, but it was just so much fun, and I couldn't stop smiling all night. And it's moments like that I think make our channels stand out, because yeah, I know we're about football and we'll always be about football, but I like to think we're about friendship, about having a laugh, about tangents, because I'm somebody that, you know, I go off on mad tangents at times. I'm well aware of that, and sometimes I'll say I'm not going to talk about something, and then I'll talk about it 4 or 5 times. I think it's part of what makes us us. What do I think of Adama Traore? I was impressed with him the other night, I have to say, Bilal. I've been hot and cold on him, and at the start of the season he wasn't getting as much game time off Nuno as he is now. But when he gets up ahead of steam and when he gets going, you ain't stopping him unless you're fouling him. He's yeah, there's something to be there. I just always have a worry, mate, about the consistency. Like, will he be able to carry that on throughout, you know, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years? But ability wise, it's clearly there. Bailey said that watch along had it all. Honestly, I know it wasn't a big watch along numbers wise or anything, but one of the most fun watch-alongs I've ever done. Right through from Vinicius Jr. somehow managing to mess up what could have been goal of the season. Oh, it had everything. And I've watched it back 4 times and I still think it's going to go in. Who do I think will be the central attacking midfielder when Hendo comes back? Look, I think it's going to be some form of Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago. Fabinho, Henderson, Keita, Fabinho, Thiago, Keita, Fabinho, Jones, Keita. I mean, there's so many, Fabinho, Firmino, Keita. There's just so many options, so it's too difficult to tell. You've like our midfield options. If we assume, let's say that Gini doesn't stay at Liverpool, if he moves on, you're looking at what? Curtis Jones. You're looking at Fabinho, you're looking at Naby Keita, you're looking at Thiago, you're looking at James Milner if he stays on for next season, you're looking at Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm scanning through my head real quick to see if I'm forgetting anybody here, because I always do miss out one, but that's 7 that I've named off the top of my head there for 3 positions, and that's before you look at Firmino dropping back into that role maybe. Craig, no one should be diving, especially Liverpool players. Who said that about diving, Lance? I said that Naby Keita, or not Naby, Sadio Mane should have gone to ground 3 times. And he should have. And we would have had 3 penalties. Nothing to do with diving. There was contact, he should have gone down. That's the modern game. We might not agree with it, my man. And the sentiment of what you're saying, I get. But the fact of the matter is, we lost points. We could have gotten a draw with Fulham. We could have been 1-0 up earlier against Wolves. We could have, scored another goal. If he had have done what most other forwards in that position would have done, which is go down under the contact. It's a ruthless business, my man, but Patricio caught him and he would have been a nailed on penalty. But again, look, I know we all have opposing views. I respect yours. I'm not going to shout anybody down for it. I just gave you mine. Why are people calling Thiago a flop? Because they're idiots. That's why. Simple. Anybody with any common sense understands that for Thiago to really blossom and bloom, one, it's going to take time because he's come into a new league. We all know that. Two, he needs to play in the midfield that he was brought to play in. Now, we've seen glimpses of him. We've seen against Leipzig when he was alongside Fabinho and Gini how good he can be. Granted, he was in the same midfield against Wolves, didn't put in the same level of performance. That was down to him. But we've seen what he is capable of. He shouldn't be playing the deep line six. He should be playing a little bit further forward. He should be the one looking to play balls around the corner to Salah or balls out left to Mane or little dinks over the top like his Daniel LaRusso kick that we should have scored from. So I think it's very unfair to judge any player in their first 6 months at a club or their first season at a club, let alone, you know, somebody who has been played almost out of position and certainly not with the players he was brought into. He's got another 3 years left on his contract, and I'm still delighted to have Thiago Alcantara at Liverpool Football Club. Do I think Milner's getting too old? Yes, I do. If I'm being really honest, I love Jimmy Milner to bits. I mean, to see out a game of football, bringing James Milner on is an excellent option because he's got the know-how. He knows what to do. He knows how to run down the clock. He knows how to win free kicks. He knows how to get in referees' ears. But I'd be lying if I say I don't get nervous when I see James Milner in the starting 11 these days, because as good as he is, as fit as he is, you know, he is 35, 36 years of age. And even James Milner can't go on forever. So, yeah, I would say that, you know, if Klopp wants to keep him around, have him as a squad player, I can understand absolutely why, because you don't get that mentality very often that Jimmy Milner has, that clean-cut lifestyle, the looking after yourself in between seasons, the influence around the dressing room, the strong mentality. You know, that's what you get with James Milner. That's why the gaffer loves him so much, as well, of course, as the fact that he's extremely versatile and can play in a whole host of positions. But, you know, Father Time, you know, doesn't wait for anybody, and eventually, you know, it'll be up to James Milner what he wants to do. But we'll always love him. Whatever happens, one of the best free signings this club's ever gotten, and I will always, 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 always love James Milner. Koulibaly's getting too old to go for. I agree, Tom. I mean, yes, his price has come down. De Laurentiis, the Napoli president, seems to be willing to accept somewhere in the mid-30 million pound mark, I should say, for him. But I agree, at what, 28, 29 now? Probably best to spend that money on somebody who's 23, 22, and you can get the next 7 or 8 years out of. We can sign Varane. He is an option, apparently. I mean, he is a player that Real Madrid have been linked with moving away from. Interestingly, I said this yesterday as well. Ronaldo could be going back to Real Madrid. Have you seen that story? It wasn't ruled. Even Zidane didn't rule it out. And Juventus may be looking to clear the books. There's talk of them looking to move on Aaron Ramsey as well, and trying to, I suppose, bring through a younger generation. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But that would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? But, you know, Real Madrid are already up shit creek financially, so I'd love to see how they can afford to bring Ronaldo's wages back into the equation, unless, you know, they've some deal with the shirt makers that allow them to make even more money if Ronaldo comes back. What's the VVD news about the Dutch doctor? Yes, thank you for reminding me. So, a Dutch surgeon has warned that if Virgil van Dijk comes back even before the end of the season or to play in the Euros, that he could risk another serious injury, that his rehab needs the time it needs. So basically, ruling out any idea that he should or could play either for Liverpool at the end of the season or for Holland at the Euros, and he should concentrate on making sure that his body is 100% right and giving it the time it needs to heal. So, you know, I have to say I fully agree with the doctor. We need to think long term with Van Dijk. I know what a massive miss that would be for the Dutch national team as well, but, you know, we've missed the lad the entire season as well, and you know, he's a surgeon who obviously knows what he's talking about far more than me, you, or any other mere mortal. So Klopp kind of intimated as much as well, that he doesn't believe that he should go to the Euros, and that he hopes that maybe he can get some pre-season under his belt with Liverpool, keep his rehab going, and be ready, hopefully, for the start of next season. So that's the news on the doctor front anyway. Who do you think the new number 9 is going to be? We have a number 9. His name's Roberto Firmino. You mean the new forward? I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Some people are saying that Klopp's got to try and make a big move for Haaland. I genuinely haven't got a clue if that's true or not. We can make the easy join the dots between LeBron, Nike, FSG, and Mbappe, but then you ask, where do we get the wages from? So there's going to be a lot of questions asked over the next few months, but if I can bring you answers, I'll bring them to you. I'll keep doing my research. I'll keep trying to find out as much stuff as I can, and we'll keep bringing you as much content as we can. But, I'll always be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you lies and say we're going to sign X, Y, and Z unless I'm very, 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 very confident of that going to be the case. Never been an ITK from day one, never claimed to be. We look at news stories, we bring you those news stories, we discuss, and sometimes we do get some little tidbits that we put into our Discord group for our members. Not stuff we'd go public with, but information that maybe a journalist or two that I'm friendly with, or, might get a bit of information from Spain about a player or something like that. That's the type of stuff we throw into our members' Discord group as a kind of thank you to them. And also because it's not a public forum, and, it's they understand that if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but this is what we've been given. Messi to City. It's possible, I suppose, but the way the Barcelona presidential elections went and Juan Laporte winning them, I think Messi staying at Barcelona will be what they will be trying to do, I think. Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid watch along. Yeah, I'm going to be finishing up here in the next 5 minutes, and then I'm going to be jumping over to Mundo Sporto, which is our sister channel, by the way. There's a link in the description for that, and I'll be doing a watch along of the Chelsea Atleti game over there, so hopefully you can come across and join us for that one. I promise you, we won't be talking about Liverpool hotels tonight or anything like that, or where me and Connor once stayed or whatever. We'll be focusing on that game because it's set up to be a belter. It really is. Chelsea obviously with that 1-goal lead after the first leg, the technical away leg tonight. It's up to see what Atleti can do, and it's an intriguing one to say the least. See, I agree, David Newell. I think City will bring in a big striker in the summer as well, mate. I absolutely agree with you, and I have a feeling it could be Haaland as well, mate. That's what's been worrying me for a while, David. I can't disagree with you there, fella. It's been a bit of talk, actually, and while David's brought it up there about Harry Kane, there's been a bit of talk that I think it was Rio Ferdinand said that United, Liverpool or City should be looking at going out there and getting Harry Kane. And I've always said to you guys that I've had this vision in my head for a long time that Harry Kane will end up at Manchester United. And I don't know why. He just seems like a Manchester United type of signing to me. But yeah, I think both things David has said there makes a lot of sense. Harvey Elliott starts tonight for Blackburn. Thank you for that one, my man. Appreciate the update. Daily streams with Brandon. Yes, please do hit the like button before you go, folks, as well. Tyler Brown, how are you, my man? Welcome in. Don't forget, by the way, I know we've got no game until April 3rd or 4th, but I'm going to be here and we're going to be here on Anfield Agenda, continuing to bring you content pretty much every day, right the way through, even through the international break. The Anfield Agenda podcast, this week's one came out today, so if you listen to podcasts on Acast, iTunes, Spotify, just search Anfield Agenda. We spoke about the situation with Mane and Salah on this one. We looked at the Wolves game, obviously. We had a little chat around who we need to strengthen or will we move it forward on. Lots of other stuff as well. Myself, Jack Gill and Steve Bland are the guys who do that podcast every week. As always, like all our content, it is entirely free, so hopefully you'll give it a download and listen to it, and please leave us a review on iTunes, a 5-star review if you can. And we put up the odd clip of it here and there as well on the channel to give you guys a snippet of it, but it is an audio only podcast really, so get over to iTunes or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast from, download the Anfield Agenda one. You'll also find my interview with Jack Mate on there, my interview with the Irish guy, my last chat that I had with Mark Goldbridge is on there as well. I think the Graham Hunter interview, lots of other bits and pieces. So we're going to keep up in the content. More TikTok stuff will be coming out, more Instagram stuff. If anybody wants to give me a follow, again, you have to request because it is a private account, and I do look through every single person that asks to follow me because, well, for obvious reasons, because there's too many people that just don't like me. But yeah, look, there's my personal Twitter account gone in there. If anybody wants to give me a follow on there as well, it's just at Craig Holden. And yeah, look, I'll be back tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I wish you all a lovely evening. I thank you all so much for your time. Just quickly to run over what happened in tonight's stream before anybody or for anyone that's coming in late. There's been talk that KONATE is available for £22 million in the summer. There's the news that LeBron James will be coming as part of the overall ownership group of FSG. His stake will increase. He's already got a 2% ownership in Liverpool, but he will be increasing his stake in the overall FSG brand. That just needs MLB approval. Then there's the talk of the Jerry Cardinal investment. That's going to be put through probably in a few weeks, $750 million. We spoke about the fact that Jurgen Klopp wants to prioritise bringing in a forward this summer over any other position, but most importantly, as an addition and not in place of any of the front four that we already have. We also spoke about that Dutch surgeon warning that if Virgil van Dijk risks coming back, even for the Euros, that it could damage him. He could pick up another serious injury and it could cause long-term damage. So that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we've covered tonight on the channel. Tomorrow I'll be back as always, and then I'll be over doing the AC Milan Manchester United game on Mundo Sporto. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. Lots of love from my family to yours. Don't forget, let everybody know about it. Share the stream. Help us on this road to 100k. We can still get there by the end of the season with a big push. We've got 16,300 to go. So again, as always, lots of love. Take care and up the Reds.